What is up, everybody? I'm George Mossey. So, 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After Season 7, Episode 6 has aired. Now, we checked in with Bilal and Shaeeda last night, and we watched them last week discuss going to a fertility doctor. Now, the fertility doctor seemed a little far off because they weren't actually on the same page with having kids. But nonetheless, they did visit this fertility doctor, and they actually used the fertility doctor appointment to try to get the fertility doctor to convince the other party what they wanted to do. And the doctor was a bit confused because people who come to him are usually in agreement on whether or not they are ready to have kids. So that wasn't the case. With Bilal and Shaeeda, the situation is more so Bilal doesn't want kids. He says right now, I think that time is indefinite. At this point, he has made it very clear that children are the plague and would ruin his life completely. So whether or not he's going to actually be honest with Shaeeda, we don't know. Or to some people, they feel like he's been fully honest this whole time. A lot of people feel like he has definitely made it very clear how he feels about having kids, and Shaeeda is the one who hasn't been able to accept it or understand what he's telling her. So nonetheless, we are going to have to wait and see because Shaeeda feels like she might be led on by Bilal. She is wasting away her childbearing years waiting for something that may never happen. Now, a lot of us feel like this was the situation right from the start, and I'm actually happy to see Shaeeda has gotten to this point where she is actually doubting whether or not Bilal is being honest and serious about having a child. At this point in her life, at 37 years old, she is definitely on a time schedule of getting this childbirth into her lifestyle. I actually learned last night on Twitter that 35 years old is advanced maternal age, which I think is crazy because a lifespan for a woman can be up into her 80s, but having children stops at about half of their life. So whether or not she is going to be able to have a child with Bilal is the real question, because we know that Shaeeda needs to have a child, and she might have to have that child with someone who's willing to give her that child. Bilal might not ever get to that point. I want to ask you guys, how do you guys feel about this situation? Do you feel like Shaeeda is asking for something that Bilal can never give her? Or do you feel like there is a possibility that Shaeeda could wear Bilal down and make it to where she can have that child? In my experience with dealing with Bilal on this show, I have noticed that Bilal is a my way or no way person. When it came to the prenup, it was sign this prenup or we're not getting married. And when it comes to children, I feel like it's the same way. He doesn't want them, so therefore he will not compromise and there will not be children. What do you guys think? Do you think that Bilal is actually capable of compromise and hearing Shaeeda's feelings? Or do you feel like this is in one ear, out the other? All right, guys, I'm George Mossey. Make sure you follow me on all platforms at George Mossey and georgemossey.com for all of your 90 Day Fiancé news and updates. I'll talk to you all really soon.